guys, what's up? It's me. So I have a few minutes before work and I decided I wanted to make a quick little video now that I am in my 18th week of pregnancy. And I kind of wanted to go over what's changed, which honestly not much has changed. And also what I was doing prior to conceiving, just like in my health routine and all that kind of stuff. So let's get going. All right, so second trimester, 18 weeks currently. Not much has changed. My morning sickness has gone down a little bit. I started going to acupuncture for that as well, so I'm crossing my fingers that like helps in the long run. I'll still, like this morning I woke up, like I'll wake up in the middle of the night, or even when I go to bed, I know that like this next morning I'm gonna have morning sickness. And it doesn't have to do with anything that I've eaten or anything. It's just I can tell it's coming, which sucks. But like this morning I woke up, tried to drink my water, started dry gagging, like was just nauseous. So it's very random. You know, last Sunday, I just had a stomach ache all day. I was hungry, but like all I wanted to eat was fried food. But even like if I ate that, my stomach would still be, messed up, whatever. But yeah, fingers crossed, the acupuncture helps. Besides that, they say that your energy is supposed to go up in your second trimester. I don't know if my energy has necessarily gone up. I think I know how to deal with things a little bit better than the first 13 weeks. But, so yeah, sorry, my hair's just like really bugging me today. That's what happens when I wash it before I go to sleep and don't blow dry it. Yeah, so honestly, not much has changed. Not much has changed with my eating. Like last week I was super hungry. Then this week I haven't really been as hungry. I still will go through phases where I hate cooking, don't want to cook. I tried to eat lettuce for breakfast the other morning like I used to do, and I'm like, I prefer not to eat weeds in the morning. Like, I just was not feeling it. I'm very picky. I do best when I'm eating, when I'm at the restaurant, when I'm at work. I'll go upstairs into the kitchen and make a burger or something, put it on salad. And I'm like super into salty, briny things. So of course pickles, but then like they always have olives for the charcuterie boards, and that's like my jam. Just like put a bunch of olives on my salad with like mustard and pickled radish, and I don't know, I just like it. So yeah, but when I'm home, I'm just like, all I have is chicken, and I'm really not into chicken these days. Red meat is kind of where it's at. But yeah, besides that, nothing's really changed. I'm trying to keep up with the chiropractor and acupuncture. That helps a lot. Still doing my Dysbio homeopathic for my Bartonella. Have had some pretty big flare-ups with my cat scratch marks on my arms. You can actually see the remnants of one of them right here. And further down here, one scabbed up, which I'm thinking is a good thing. It's really targeting the Bartonella. I haven't felt like crap. My detox bathrooms have been moving like they should be. So yeah, that's about it. All right, so what I really wanted to talk about in this video was what I did prior to getting pregnant and whether or not it helped me or not. Like just the different things I did. So going way back, I started doing basal body temping a couple of years ago, I want to say, at least a couple of years ago, just to track my temps, because at the time, he still is there, my endocrinologist is in Connecticut, and I moved to Tennessee a few years ago, and it's kind of been like this back and forth, and it's kind of hard to communicate everything with someone that's in Connecticut that doesn't see you, that just has these notes. So I kind of took it upon myself to try and really figure out what my thyroid was doing outside of standard, or I don't want to say his blood tests are standard, but whatever blood test he was doing. So I did basal body temping, and my temps were extremely low, like almost shockingly low. And I was like, okay, obviously I'm still super hypothyroid. I was gaining weight uncontrolled. It was uncontrollable. Like I couldn't control it. I could eat a crumb a day and I'd still be gaining weight. So, yeah, it was very frustrating. So I got on top of that with my basal body temping. Now, All that to say, I continued doing that. Sorry, I don't want to knock my thing off, but I'm also like slightly uncomfortable the way I'm sitting. Okay, so all that to say, I kept doing that just to track my cycle and to figure out, like, is my luteal phase too long? Is it follicle? I always say I'm wrong. The F phase, I don't know. Like, which part of my cycle is off? Is one too long? Is one too short? I was just really trying to dig deep into my cycle, because at the time I was still doing bioidentical hormones and things were still not balanced. I could not get them balanced. So yeah, I was tracking with that, and also using it obviously to track ovulation and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I started doing, just to kind of prepare, or just to kind of learn my body, I guess you could say. Not necessarily even in regards to getting pregnant, although I had learned how it could help with getting pregnant, because you can use the temps to kind of indicate when you're ovulating or when you're going to ovulate, and then if you are trying to conceive, that you may actually be pregnant without actually taking a pregnancy test, which is kind of how I discovered it before I officially took a test, even though I was still kind of in denial. But I was like, I'll just wait for 2 weeks of high temps after they should have dropped, and I did. I had it. So I just kind of educated myself on that. Then moving forward from that, it sounds silly to prepare your body for pregnancy, even if you're not trying to currently get pregnant or whatever, but I still think it helps a lot. And that was kind of my approach and kind of my perspective on everything. So again, getting on top of all of the just inflammatory things happening in my body, like with the Bartonella infection, that was a big one that I'm still on top of. Just dealing with mast cell stuff, and overall just trying to support my body as best as I possibly could. I want to say at the beginning of this year, I went back to a fully keto approach to my eating, and then slowly incorporated intermittent fasting back into that. And I felt what I felt, and literally felt like it helped a lot. Was still doing that when I currently got pregnant. I was getting stronger and stronger in my workouts. Some people say oh no, you need to tone down your exercising in order to conceive. Well, in my case, I was kicking butt at the gym. I was getting stronger and stronger and doing more intense stuff and heavier weights. Now, when I did actually get pregnant, it was almost immediate. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Especially not at that intensity and all that kind of stuff. But leading up to the time, I was working out hard. I wasn't sitting at home and doing yoga every day. Not saying there's anything wrong with that. But I know, and I had the thought many times, I was like, well, maybe I need to not exercise or work out so hard. But I think that ties into, are you working out so hard that you're stressing your hormones out and your cortisol's constantly raised and all that kind of stuff? Mine wasn't. So I think that's why it all played out the way it did. But that's just something as an individual, I guess you kind of have to play around with and figure out yourself. Another thing that I did that wasn't necessarily targeting my chances of conceiving, but in looking back at it, I think it did help in a way. I dropped my caffeine consumption considerably because the Bartonella infection had caused me to have interstitial cystitis, and I could not drink coffee without extreme pain. And it was actually that diagnosis and that constant burning pain in my bladder that got me to start researching essential oils that were beneficial to not only your bladder but your reproductive organs and all that kind of stuff. So though you know, it was my hopes that the essential oils would help my bladder inflammation and pain. And so they didn't, just because of how inflamed everything was. But I also came across like essential oils that promote fertility and all that kind of stuff and help promote like hormone balance. And so I went ahead and got all those, as well as the ones for my bladder and stuff. So just pretty much covering my entire, I guess, reproductive system and stuff with essential oils. And I use those starting, I only started doing that probably in the end of May, or halfway through May, and I found out I was pregnant September 19th, but obviously I was a few weeks pregnant by then, so like beginning of September, sorry. So May, June, July, August. So like 4 months of using them. I had read online, like some people, they were like in their 30s, and I know it sounds crazy, but like, well, they could never conceive before, and then they started doing this protocol with these essential oils, and they actually got pregnant. So I was like, like, might as well, like, just add it to the list. Plus they all smell really good, so, and they had other benefits as well. So the essential oils I started doing. I also started taking herbs, and I don't even know what they are. Maybe I'll find them and put them in the post with this video. Herbs and different supplements to kind of also help with fertility and just balancing hormones, and supporting what has not yet happened yet, which is carrying a child. I started taking those kind of on and off, because I was like, you know, just kind of on and off, but I did it pretty consistently, despite being on and off. That doesn't really make sense, but oh well. So yeah, started doing that. What's another thing that I did? Gosh. Oh, I did do this, goodness, I cannot remember what kind of Mayan Massage, is that what it's called? I need to look it up. I'll put it in the post as well. I think it's called Mayan Massage, and I came across this again when I was deeply researching how to get rid of IC pain in your bladder, and just like different alternative methods that people had found that had worked. Even though I knew mine stemmed from Bartonella, I just still wanted, and I found, this Mayan Massage, and it's all about like balancing. It's a massage, but it's also about balancing like your organs and getting them realigned and that kind of stuff. And it's used a lot also when it comes to fertility and like your reproductive organs and all that stuff. So I actually went and got one done. I don't know if this contributed to my chances of getting pregnant. No idea. It was really relaxing, and I felt amazing afterward. Did it help my bladder pain? Not really, but Mayan Massage, it was great. And she taught me how to do like stuff at home to increase circulation around your ovaries and just those different, in your bladder and all those organs. So I did that faithfully at home as well. See, what else did I do? I know a lot of people were always like, a lot of people I've talked to that have dealt with infertility have used acupuncture. I didn't actually use it to try and get pregnant. I use it now, and I used it a few years ago. I couldn't fit it in. Well, I mean, I could have fit it into my schedule if I really wanted to, but I was like, I'll save that for later. So yeah, that's about it. I do want to stress that I was on a ketogenic diet, intermittent fasting, and I got pregnant, because there's a lot of information, or just, I guess, experiences out there where keto does not do women any favors. It actually makes their hormones more whacked out. And for me, it's always done the opposite. It's always benefited my body greatly. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there because I know a lot of women are like, ooh, should I do this? Is it going to decrease my chances of getting pregnant? It really depends on your body, and it really depends on how you respond to keto and how it's benefiting your body. For me, I was like on solid keto and I got pregnant. So obviously, and I felt great at the same time. So yeah, and then getting pregnant, I was like, oh, should I stay keto? I don't know. What I really struggled with was just the craving for carbs and like white bread and stuff like that, just because I was so nauseous. I think I mentioned this in my first video, but like I played around with eating carbs, and my body just does not do well with that. Nowadays, I don't necessarily eat like full on keto like I was before I got pregnant, but I definitely eat more low carb paleo. Sometimes fat just makes me want to puke, so I just try and focus on protein and vegetables when I can get them in, which is hard sometimes, especially because I hate, like, lettuce is like grass to me now, so yeah, it's great. Yeah, so I was on keto, was definitely getting enough nutrients and calories in food. I was really honed in on my macros, which, you know, some people are like, don't stress about that on keto, but for me it helped me because if I wasn't careful I wouldn't get enough food, enough protein, all that kind of stuff, just because I wasn't hungry. Now that I am pregnant, I definitely have more of an appetite. I am hungry when I wake up. I will eat when I wake up. I will eat a couple hours later. And then, so I try and get 3 meals in. Like today, I might have like 2 meals and a snack just because I have to go to work at 3 o'clock and I will work until 7, and then I won't really want to cook when I get home, and I'll try and eat something at the restaurant, but it might not happen. So, you know, life, it happens. Alrighty, so that's about it. I don't want to make this video super long. I know the last one was like 30 minutes long, but it's kind of hard for me not to. There's so much information to share. Not much else is changing. Gotta love the constant pregnancy pimples and crap that are just constantly there, like when I'm on my period. There's like no reason for me to have pimples, but I guess my hormones decide that I need to. Yeah, that I'm still in my 18 weeks, so I'm kind of getting into that place where I'm needing maternity clothes. If I'm home, I pretty much wear my husband's workout t-shirts because they're big and baggy and they're comfortable. But now that I work and I have to go in public, and I go to school, I'm needing more like maternity-esque clothing, especially in pants, because the inseam on a lot of my leggings is not long enough to go over my belly, and I feel like I'm constantly pulling my pants up. But besides that, I honestly, I don't know what my weight is. Besides like the things not fitting over my belly, I honestly don't, I don't have the muscle that I used to. And I'm not as in shape. I'm not in shape like I used to be. But other than that, like I fit in on my clothes fine, on my old clothes. It's not like I've grown out of them, like I've gained weight. I let my OB worry about that. Quite honestly, I have no idea what I weigh. I just know that if it was too much or too little, she would tell me. So, and I really think eating my paleo / keto / AIP diet, keeping my inflammation under control and all that, is having a big impact on that. A lot of people are like, when are you going to start gaining weight? When are you going to start getting chubby? And I'm like, you don't have to get chubby. Like, I swear, half of my extra body weight right now is because my boobs have doubled in size. You know, like, it doesn't have to happen. Do I think I'll gain more weight? Yeah, probably. As the baby gets bigger, it'll probably just naturally happen. But I've seen a lot of females out there, and known females, that they don't gain a lot of weight. Like, you don't have to gain a lot of weight just because you're pregnant. And like the whole eating for 2 thing, like, yeah, I make sure I get enough food, but I'm not like, oh, I need like 3 burgers because I'd normally eat 1.5. Like, I just go with the flow of what my body's telling me it needs and wants at the time. I never go to bed hungry. In the past, I might, just because I'm like, I don't want to cook. But now if I'm hungry at 8:30, I'm like, all right, I'll go make some eggs. Like, gotta go eat. And because I know it's for a real reason. But yeah, besides that, clothes fit normal. I otherwise look pretty normal. People, some people be like, oh my gosh, you're not showing at all. Again, that's usually when I'm wearing the really big baggy clothes that are my husband's. If I wear more normal clothes, you can tell that I'm showing a little bit. But again, not tons, because I don't, well, one, it's my first child, and two, I just haven't gained tons of excess weight. So it goes to show that really exercise and diet and what you look like, diet's like 80% of your body composition, and then the extra 20% is what you're doing in the gym or outside or whatever. So it's pretty cool to see that, because I've always believed that, but I've also always been one to work out really hard at the gym. Now I do not do that. Sometimes I'll do some stuff at home, and then I get super sore, and then the next day I go to work for 8 hours and I'm exhausted, and I might not do it again for a week. Just focus on movement, moving, stretching, and all that kind of stuff. So I don't have much more to say that I can think of at the moment. But once my grandparents finally find out that I'm pregnant, because my husband and I are going to surprise them over Christmas, which is this next week, I will be able to post all things baby on the blog, which will be good. And that'll probably be when I post this video, because I want to post it as a blog post. So yeah, just stay tuned, and if you guys have any questions or anything, let me know.